Quebec City is one place everyone must visit at least once in their lifetime. Why? Because of everything it holds. Are you planning a trip to Quebec City, Canada soon? Or are you looking for where to have the time of your life during your next holiday? From the amazing landscape to their tasty dishes, these are the top activities you must do and the top attractions you'd find in Quebec City. Let's start our ride somewhere ancient, and that's going to the place known as Wendake. Wendake is a First Nations community, home to the Huron-Wendat Nation, located within Quebec City. This beautiful but ancient community is just on the north side of Quebec City. Although the town really looks quiet, it is actually one with loads of activities that will keep you entertained. In this community, you're going to come across culture, history, and nature, all in different ways that are likely to blow your mind. Plus, unlike many other big places and cities, this town is so small that you can get to see a lot even if you're there for a short visit. But we'll tell you for free that it's even better if you stay longer. You also get to learn about the history of the Wendat people here, and the best time to visit is actually at the end of June. Why? Because Wendake holds a powwow, a cultural festival during that time. The event is so big that it brings people from all over the world together to celebrate. If you think that Quebec City is only about culture and history, then you probably know nothing about the Citadelle of Quebec, and you should really check it out on your next trip. This citadel is the largest British fortress in North America, built by the British to protect the city. If you really want to know how strong it is, you just need to walk very near the wall. You'd feel it instantly. That's why many people say this citadel is not just about protecting people. It also gives you a good view of Quebec City, the St. Lawrence River, and the Green Mountains in the distance. The fun in this next place we want to talk about is enviable too. That's the Château Frontenac. There's no way you can ask for one of the famous places in Quebec City and the Château Frontenac wouldn't be mentioned. This place houses one of the most recognized hotels in the world. It is set on top of a very high cliff, and everything about the building makes it resemble a castle from France. The building itself is the major attraction because many people come here to just take pictures. It is widely described as the most photographed hotel in the world. The building is a masterpiece from every angle. It looks grand and impressive, especially when seen against the river. Now guess what? Inside the building is an even more awesome sight. You'll pass through a long hall designed with polished mahogany walls, marble staircases, and fine carvings. There are tour guides who would help you know more about the building and the different guests it has welcomed before. Franklin D. Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, Princess Grace of Monaco, and singers like Celine Dion are some of the top names. Just imagine you sharing a space with these guys. Additionally, you can also see the St. Lawrence River and the city in a more beautiful light just from the grounds of the hotel. Just outside the chateau is Dufferin Terrace, which is also known as Terrace Dufferin. This is a very wide wooden boardwalk. You may be asking, what's so special about it? Well, this boardwalk stretches along the cliff, and many people come to enjoy the beautiful views of the mountains and the river close to it. As you pass through this boardwalk, you'll see different old cannons placed along it, which shows that this place was once a military stronghold. But today, the terrace changes with the seasons. It is usually lively with musicians and artists entertaining the people during the summer. In winter, it becomes home to one of Quebec's oldest traditions, the wooden ice toboggan slide. This tradition has had guests so excited about this place since the 1800s. People still line up to race down the icy track, feeling the rush of cold wind as they speed toward the river. Whatever time you choose to come here, Dufferin Terrace is full of energy and offers some of the best views in the city. Moving on, you can make a stop at the Museum of Civilization. This is one of the most visited places in Quebec City. It's so special because it is a place where the province's history and culture are shared in exciting ways. There are about 225,000 different artifacts inside the museum, and each one tells the story of the people who have lived in Quebec City over the years. That's why one of the most exciting parts of the museum is the section about the Indigenous people. You can learn about the traditions, languages, challenges, and much more about the history of the Indigenous people of the city. But everything there isn't just about the old times. Some modern exhibits and artifacts talk about today's issues. Visitors can actually touch, play, and learn through experience because the museum uses interactive displays. Families with kids, especially ages 9 to 14, enjoy the museum because of its hands-on activities. At the same time, history lovers can spend hours looking closely at rare and fascinating objects. Most of its popular exhibits change throughout the year. Still, they often include displays about Quebec's journey from a fur trading post to a modern city. The building itself is worth a visit. Its design mixes modern architecture with parts of older historic buildings. Not very far from the museum is Place de l'Hôtel de Ville. This is a special spot to visit. This square is home to the Quebec City Hall and the Halle au Grain, which was once a grain market. The square is a peaceful place to rest. People often relax on the grass or sit at the outdoor tables with a coffee or a local drink. At the center is a programmable fountain where water sprays from the ground in playful patterns, inviting children and even adults to join in the fun. There are also landmarks to see in the square. The Jura clock, a gift to the city for its 400th anniversary, is a symbol of friendship and celebration. Close to this place is the Monument des Frères Éducateurs. This is a sculpture that shaped the city's schools. In winter, the square becomes a lively German Christmas market. Wooden stalls are set up, filled with the smell of food. Lights, music, and live performances make everywhere look bright, like it's the festive season. Whatever the season, Place de l'Hôtel de Ville is where people come to enjoy both history and everyday life in Quebec City. Moving on, you can visit one of the most important historic squares in Old Québec, known as the Place Royale. This place is also known to many as the birthplace of New France, because it was the place where Samuel de Champlain founded the city in 1608. Just by looking around, you'd see the markings that show just how the very first house of Champlain looked. As you walk through Place Royale, you will also notice restored buildings that mix both French and British architectural styles. Today, many of these old stone houses are filled with shops, cafes, and restaurants. This is just one way of keeping the square lively while still keeping its historic charm. In winter, Place Royale is especially beautiful. Snow falls over the rooftops and lights shine from the windows. The next place you mustn't miss is Montmorency Falls, one of the most beautiful natural wonders near Quebec City. The waterfall is 272 feet high, even higher than Niagara Falls. It's just 8 miles from Old Québec, so it's an easy trip for visitors. From far away, you can see the mist rising, but up close, you get the full force and roar of the water. There are many ways to enjoy the falls. A cable car takes you to the top for a bird's-eye view of the river and the city. For the adventurous, there's a zip line that crosses over the water, so you can zip past the falls for an unforgettable thrill. Hiking trails and biking paths surround the park to scenic lookouts. A suspension bridge spans the top of the waterfall where you can feel the spray on your face while walking above the drop. The falls are beautiful in every season. In summer, the park is green and lively, and families spend time at the playgrounds. Visitors who want more challenge can try the Via Ferrata climbing route, where guides help you scale the cliffs beside the waterfall. In winter, the falls partly freeze, creating walls of ice. At this time, people come for snowshoeing, ice climbing, and to see the frozen scenery. Montmorency Falls is not just a place to look at, but a place to explore through adventure and outdoor activities. And if you're thinking of having the best outdoor activities of your lifetime, then Battlefields Park is the place to go. This park is one of the most historic parks in Canada. The Battle of Quebec in 1759 took place on the Plains of Abraham, which cover about 242 acres. The larger Battlefields Park totals about 267 acres, a battle between the French and British armies that decided the fate of North America. Today, the park is a peaceful space, but reminders of the past remain. Old cannons are still positioned across the grounds, and Martello Towers built in the 1800s stand as monuments to the city's military history. There are many things here that can thrill every visitor. The Joan of Arc Garden is one of the best, with perfectly arranged flowers, trimmed hedges, and statues. It's a calm and colorful retreat. The riverfront is another popular area where people come to relax, enjoy the breeze, or take in the views of the St. Lawrence River. All year round, Battlefields Park is a place for both history and fun. Families come for picnics, runners and cyclists use the wide paths. In winter, it's part of Quebec City's Winter Carnival with games, sculptures, and festive activities. Snowshoeing and skating are also popular during the cold months. In summer, the park hosts outdoor concerts and cultural events, and crowds gather under the stars. When you leave Battlefields Park, the next stop you should be making is at the Notre Dame de Quebec Basilica Cathedral. This cathedral is one of the oldest cathedrals in North America and one of the most important sites in Quebec City. Its history goes back to the 1600s and has been rebuilt and restored many times over the centuries. The interior is decorated using gilded gold leaf, shining altars, and artwork from the French colonial period. Every corner of the cathedral feels like a European church. The cathedral has several treasures. One of them is the tomb of Saint François de Laval, the first Roman Catholic bishop of Quebec, who was instrumental in building the church in New France. There is also a large reliquary for Canada's saints and blessed, making it a place of devotion and history. The funerary chapel for François de Laval is another sacred space. The cathedral is also home to the Holy Door, a rare feature found in only a few churches in the world. Although the Holy Door is closed for now, it's still a symbol of faith and pilgrimage. You shouldn't visit Quebec City without making a stop at the National Museum of Fine Arts of Quebec. It is a must-see for anyone who loves art and history. The collection spans centuries, from the 17th century during the French colonies to contemporary art. The museum is spread over 4 buildings, each with its own exhibits and stories. Inside, you can see paintings, sculptures, and installations from some of Quebec's most famous artists, including Jean-Paul Lemieux, Fernand Leduc, and Jean-Paul Riopelle. Their works show the evolution of the Quebec art scene over time. One of the highlights of the museum is the Brousseau collection of Inuit art. This collection has 2,635 artworks by different Inuit artists. It gives visitors a glimpse into the traditions, creativity, and culture of northern communities. Another unique part of the museum is the Pavillon Charles Baillarger, which was once a prison. Visitors can walk through the preserved cells and see how the space has been repurposed to house art, history, and creativity. The museum is more than a gallery. Depending on when you visit, you may also be able to see international exhibitions and access art from around the world. The museum offers activities like art classes, film screenings about famous artists, and even live concerts. It's a lively place where culture is shared in many ways. With its many collections and events, the National Museum of Fine Arts is both a guardian of Quebec's artistic heritage and a place where new creativity happens. And even the museum isn't as exciting as a place known as Saint-Roch. Saint-Roch is one of the most vibrant neighborhoods in Quebec City, full of creativity and good food. It has developed into a hotspot for young professionals, artists, and students, so you get a mix of old and new. The heart of the neighborhood is Rue Saint-Joseph-Est, a street with cafes, restaurants, and microbreweries. Places to check out are La Fer et Ketchup for its unique dining style and Corrigan Brasserie Artisanale, a microbrewery that brews on site. Walking in Saint-Roch, you'll find everything from trendy coffee shops to lively pubs, each one different. It's not just about food and drinks, it's also a neighborhood for community life and outdoor activities. In the summer, Saint-Roch has pop-up gathering places where people can meet, eat, and enjoy music together. Jean-Paul Lallier Park is another highlight of the area. It has wide-open lawns, a water feature, and plenty of space to relax, so it's a favorite spot for both locals and visitors. Saint-Roch is also home to Église de Saint-Roch, one of the biggest churches in Quebec City. Its Romanesque interior is worth seeing, with beautiful stained glass windows and a calm atmosphere. At night, the neighborhood comes alive with music and laughter from its many bars and pubs, showing off its creative and social side. Saint-Roch has become a hub of modern city life while still keeping its historical roots. About 31 miles from the city, Jacques-Cartier National Park is a whole different experience, with mountains, forests, and rivers. The park is located in a wide glacial valley where the Jacques-Cartier River winds between cliffs and wooded hills. It's one of the best places near Quebec City to enjoy outdoor activities all year round. In the summer, you can hike more than 60 miles of trails. Canoeing and kayaking are very popular on the river, where the current varies from calm to fast. On hot days, there's a small beach for swimming, and just around there, you can learn more about the local flora and fauna. In the winter, the park becomes a snowy playground. Trails open for snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, and fat biking, so you have many ways to explore. Kick sledding, a traditional Scandinavian activity, is also offered and has become a winter highlight. If you want to stay more than a day, the park has cozy cottages, yurts, and even ready-to-camp tents where you can stay overnight. There's quite a number of wildlife here, and if you're just in luck, you get to see animals like deer, moose, black bears, or a variety of birds. And for a more relaxing and historic charm, you'll have to visit the Old Port of Quebec City. This port is a peaceful and scenic area where the St. Lawrence River is the backdrop for relaxing walks. Along the waterfront, you can watch sailboats, fishing boats, and cruise ships come and go at the marina. Many visitors enjoy taking boat tours from here, especially in the evening when Cap Diamant glows under the night lights and the city's skyline reflects on the water. In winter, the river takes on a different beauty as sheets of ice crash and shift along the shore, and the cold breeze makes the scene even more dramatic. One of the best spots to enjoy the river is Place des Canotiers, a park right by the water. Here, you can sit by the fountains, look out at wide views of the Château Frontenac, and admire the rooftops of the Petit Champlain district. It's a favorite place for both locals and visitors to take a break, enjoy the view, or snap photos of some of the city's most iconic sights. The area around the port also has much to explore. On Rue Saint-Paul and Rue Saint-Pierre, old stone buildings line the streets, now filled with antique shops, art galleries, and small boutiques. A trip to Quebec City would not be complete without tasting poutine, one of Canada's most famous dishes. Poutine is simple but hearty, crispy French fries topped with fresh cheese curds and warm brown gravy. The combination makes a delicious comfort food that locals and visitors both love. Some of the best spots to try it in the city are Le Chic Shack, known for creative twists on the dish, and Poutineville, which lets you customize your own bowl. If you visit in February, you might be lucky enough to experience Poutine Week, the largest poutine festival in the world. During this event, restaurants across the city compete to create both classic and unusual versions of the dish. You'll find everything from traditional recipes to adventurous toppings that surprise and delight. If you love food, it's one of the tastiest times of the year to explore Quebec City.